There we go. Okay. So, unfortunately, I just have to do this when the mood hits. So, here we are. Hi. I hate editing, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm just gonna try to one-shot this as well as I can. Yeah. Hopefully you like the old YouTube style. Oh man, I'm aging myself, I feel like. Dude, speaking of aging yourself, sorry, this has nothing to do with the book. And I should look here, not there. But I have been having these like dreams that are really weird, and I'll wake up like this, like scrunched up, like because I'm like taking it seriously in my sleep, and it's actually giving me like little lines right here by my nose, so that's cool. You can't really see it here, I think. I don't know. Zoom in, find out. And before anybody says it, I know my eyeshadow looks washed out and powdery. Whatever. Anyway, so welcome to my first book review. Thank you for being here today. Oh man, I gotta sneeze. No. Okay. So today, we will be reviewing wow, you can really see that with the light, huh? The surgical operations on President Cleveland in 1893, together with 6 additional papers of Reminiscences by William W. Keene, MD. This book is from, obviously some of it takes place in 1893, but the book itself is from 1928. Homeboy, this doctor wrote so many books, it seems like. It seems like a very interesting dude. Wrote this when he was 92, which is just absolutely wild to me. But like, you know, I don't know, it's really cool. Anyway, so there it is. Hell yeah. Anyway, yeah, so this is just a very interesting book. The first thing he does talk about is the operation on President Cleveland, Grover Cleveland. And it's crazy because he put so much political importance on this, and it had to be like a total secret, and because it was during the argument about like gold silver standard, and right before they repealed the Sherman Act. And so like the surgery had to be kept a secret. It was like a huge deal and everything. And it was basically removing an ulcer from Grover Cleveland's mouth area. And it's crazy because it's actually wild to see like how little they understood because he goes on, they do it privately on a yacht, right? And so President Cleveland goes on this yacht, and before surgery, like the night before his surgery, he's like, yeah, let's have some cigars. And all the doctors are like, yeah, sure. So, you know, but it is what it is. It was a while ago. But it's actually really crazy as well. Besides that story, he has like other papers and stuff that he writes in here. He does like a whole thing on Louis Pasteur and all this stuff. And it's absolutely wild to just read about how close we are to just surgery being, lethal, or I guess, or people dying from surgery. It's only been like 100 years. And he's just talking about like how many people died all the time from surgery, or like these diseases or complications that like you don't even hear of anymore because they're just taken care of. They're not relevant anymore. And it's absolutely wild. He also served in the Civil War and as a doctor, and I mean, I've never been a Civil War buff. Like, I love history and I love nonfiction, but, yeah, I've never been huge into the Civil War, but this guy, like, reading about the surgeries and the practices and, like, how they were learning medicine during the Civil War is just very interesting. And I might actually read more on that part of it, even though I don't know. I've tried to get into it. It's just not a period of history that I don't know. It just doesn't grasp my interest the way the other ones do. Like, Revolutionary War is kind of the same. I just don't care I don't know. It's kind of weird. And everybody's got their own stages of history they're interested in. But anyway, this guy is very cool. I mean, he talks a lot because he's a doctor, and he's in the old-timey time when that was more like a, I don't know. It just like they beat around the bush a little bit more or something. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so this book's really good. If you can find it, I highly suggest it. Or in general, just reading about random things by different people it's very cool. I highly recommend nonfiction, but that's just me. If you're reading at all, I think that's great. Or, you know, I mean, I know people listen to like audiobooks and stuff. I think getting knowledge in general is a good thing. As my dad always says, knowledge is power. And you can get a lot of knowledge and perspective in general by reading or listening to books, listening to other people. And I think that that's very important. But yeah, love your libraries. Visit your local library. That is not where I got this. I don't know if your library will have this book. But if you can, that's great. But yeah, no, libraries are great. You can find all kinds of things there. So if you can't afford books or whatever for any reason, libraries are free. And some of them have different policies on returns, so just keep that in mind. I'm starting to ramble a little bit about that, but it's so weird. Like when I grew up, my library had like a very small return fee, like if you didn't return it on time. But the library where I'm at now doesn't do it at all. They don't charge fees, and I get why, like, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go to your library, sign up for a library card, get books, learn things, become smarter about the world in which you live, and try not to make the same mistakes people did before us and all that jazz. Okay, well, thanks for coming to my speech. I'll be back with another one later or something. Okay, bye.